my question is like, so what does United look like next season? Is it more of the same? Are they going to go like the youth player route? Maybe because the minor came up, so everyone's excited. Is that the plan? I guess so. Essentially, I just see it as like more of the same, and they weren't willing to. It's almost like they weren't willing to make that risky, bold move for fear of the fans' repercussions that they didn't go get Xabi Alonso, or because whatever, just picking a name
Yeah,
that's out. So I think that's what's going on. So because honestly, with Ten Hag again, if I were a United fan, I would not be happy with Ten Hag as my manager. Like, okay, yeah, you won the FA Cup, it's a trophy, cool, but like, what's the progression looking like? And again, most United fans were caught up in the we got a trophy, your manager hasn't won anything, yada yada yada. But like, logically speaking, I think like I also think it was a little odd that they hadn't made a decision for like a couple of weeks. So I'm like, if you're gonna fire this guy, just fire the guy so you can get moving with your transfers and all that. Because yes,
yeah,
I know there's Euros and stuff, but still, like as preparation for a season is part of it's like you put in a couple of tools in place so that you can like look at that target to get this. I think maybe they just got to a certain point. They just like just keep it as it is, see how it goes. But I honestly because even watching United, one side the banter side, but another side it was just atrocious watching United, where it's like you guys are getting played off the park by every single team, shots on goals, like no control. So is it going to be more of the same next season? I guess because nothing's going to magically change. And exactly your point, top players now you have to pay a lot more money or wages to convince them because you don't have a project to convince them on.
yeah.
So I think they're just kicking it down the line. I think that PSR thing probably has something to do with it. I think probably some of these court cases that there's a big whole podcast about that. Maybe once that fizzles out this season, then maybe they'll be a bit more free to figure out. But I think United definitely the management, not just the manager, but like people who the Glazers have put in place. Also, I know you guys have a lot of issues with that.
Yeah.
Having a structure in place, right? So that there's a then you can believe in something. I don't think they're there yet, and I think that's why they're just like easy decision, keep it as is, and then we'll be happy with individual performances against Liverpool and whatever next season. And
About,
you
yeah.
know, I can just see the same
But
happening.
you're right, and that's very like once again very lazy management, and this is why it's kind of giving me like PTSD all of a sudden because it's like this is what the Glazers we complain about the Glazers doing quick fixes, and what I mean by lazy recruitment is people keep saying oh there's no managers out there, there's no managers out there. I'm like Manchester United doesn't need a Zidane, we don't need a Pep, we don't need these guys. Yeah,
Right.
obviously Pep would be nice if Pep says he was coming through. Don't get me wrong, but this is not what we should be going for. Like, look at Crystal Palace. I know it's only his first couple of months. How are these mid-table teams able to fire their coaches, go to Spain and Italy, and get a coach that is top 10, that is all about systems and structures? Because Manchester United, it's one of the most sought after jobs in world football, actually in the world. Being a
It's the
Manchester
biggest, second biggest club in the world. Easily.
exactly. So who wouldn't want to coach that team that team? So it's all about right now. We don't have the money to spend. Perfect. So more reason why we do not need all these guys that are going to come in and say Tuchel is going to come in. Oh, I need this player. I need that player before I can win you something. I want a coach that is grateful to have this opportunity, whether it's for 18 months, 2 years.
Mm.
Come in and realize, okay, I know you guys don't have a budget because I've already been working with a low budget in Girona, in Getafe, in wherever what other leagues that we have, right? I said, so I can come in. Your job right now is to stabilize and create a project for us. Once again, happy Father's Day to fathers around the world and soon to be fathers as well. So get to it. So it's definitely been a promising tournament, unexpected. I was a little nervous because I thought the players would be tired, a little slow to start. But the Germany game it set the tone for sure. It definitely set the tone. I already had Germany as my dark horse. So seeing them perform the way they did against Scotland was it's already promising signs of how far they can make it into the tournament. So that was good. Musiala, I know he plays in the Bundesliga for Munich, but we need to start talking about this kid. I know a lot of us are Premier League fans, and we love to talk about our Premier League players and our English players, but there is a lot of talent out there in Europe. in the likes of Musiala. And then if you go to Spain, we were just talking about that before we went live. Another great game. I didn't think, obviously, I didn't think that Croatia was going to win that game, but I didn't expect them to make it that easy for Spain. But so far, it's definitely been good. I think this is the tournament for the young and upcoming, the next generation, where we're going to be talking about the Jude Bellinghams, the Musialas of this world. No longer. I think this is the tournament that just draws the line in the sand with the Ronaldo generation. The Messi Ronaldo generation is now, I think, officially behind us, and we can now look forward to the future.
The Germany game definitely set the pace. I think there was a part where you probably saw the meme that was going around where, unfortunately, our boy Tierney and Robertson were celebrating a goal kick like 3 minutes into the game, and then they're 5-1. So then you're like, it was almost an indication of, they were very excited. I get it, but I think Germany playing at home after they've had a couple of poor international performances or tournament performances, I expect them to at least show up, and so far they've been doing that. And France, so usually like France is generally the team that I tend to support in Europe as well. But the thing about France is like they kind of tend to play the level of the competition. So what that means is like you might get a very boring game against Austria, but then they'll probably make it through the next stages, and then they kind of step it up as the competition gets better. So not jumping too far ahead. It'd be interesting to see, like, the game might not be that exciting, to be honest, but they'll just get the job done. I can see that. Netherlands, it would be cool to see as well. Yeah, Spain is very exciting, and then Italy as well.
Sorry. England
Bellingham. It's coming out. But no, it's cool. Like, I'm very excited to see this tournament and just to see some of the smaller teams and the younger players step up. And exactly the point you made, this is kind of like, okay, the new generation, this is their time to step up and be part of the sort of the future of football.
My favorites have always been, for the last 3 years, England, Tres Leones, as I call them, 3 Lions. And no one likes them. I think their fans are so arrogant, but I'm here to tell you guys, including you who are supporting other teams, that they're going to win this tournament. This is their year. Even though I said last time, but guess what happened? Remember what happened last time? We actually went to the finals. So I don't think it's unheard of that. Honestly, if we don't go to the finals and win it this time, we need to get rid of our coach. And we started well just now, obviously. So I mean, we're playing Serbia. Serbia is a solid team. Serbia is one of the teams that they expect to leave that group. We're in a group with Slovenia and Denmark as well. Denmark and Slovenia played today to a draw, which was unusual. Everyone's thinking that they're going to pile on Slovenia. Mm-hmm. Slovenia has that guy. If you're an Arsenal fan, you understand that we wanted Sesko, or we considered him. I'm not sure if it was a legitimate consideration. He's a good striker. He didn't really do much today, but yeah, solid tournament so far. Like, even these underdogs, they're not, apart from Scotland, they're not all rolling over.